Hi guys, welcome back to more episodes of The X-Files, on to episode 16 of season 5. That last one, where we pretty much got an entire backstory being told from a former FBI agent from way back as to the explanation as to what that thing even was and that he was experimenting on everything. And there was no Scully in the episode. There was very little Mulder in the episode, and normally you would think, well, that's not going to be much of an X-Files episode without either of them barely in it, but I really enjoyed it. It was a very good story. It was well told, it was well executed, and I just love the little bits of key pieces of information that they put in particular, even how the X-Files come to be named the X-Files and who was kind of responsible. And that speech by the director at the time was fabulous. Right, let's carry on. Episode 16. Clearly lives on her own. Lonely. Oh, that looked like a case of cocaine or something. Someone's getting stabbed.
Prospect Avenue, over.
Not psychic, what do they call them when they see it? I can't remember. And I guess, yeah, that the person's dead. She saw it happen. It's going to be her, innit? She's gone to check. Is it one of her neighbours? Yeah.
Keep them in the air.
Oh, that looks bad. That looks bad.
Hey, Keith. Think you might want to check this out.
She's going to clean it up. She's blind.
I think she's blind.
So if she's blind, how the hell did you manage to overpower a man twice the size?
Out on bail for possession with intent. Two-time loser looking at life.
I have the same pair of pants.
Marty Glenn, 28. We found her at the scene doing a Formula 409. Under normal circumstances, my department would have her dead to rights. It's just one little snag.
She's been blind since birth.
Yeah.
So what, do you think that she caught Little Monster trying to snatch the pebble from her hand?
Nothing else makes sense.
Including how a blind girl could get the drop on an ex-con and bleed him out with surgical precision.
Exactly.
I think she's got some kind of sixth sense, lets her see in the dark. Like a bat or something.
She sees visions of someone getting killed. Oh. Goes over there.
It's you.
And cleans it up. What?
We'd like to ask you some questions, Marty.
How did you know that?
You must be having trouble with your case, Detective.
I'm curious why you've refused your right to an attorney.
Unless you're gonna charge me, I don't plan on needing one.
The problem here is they couldn't convict her on this. Because yes, they have a body. And yes, she was caught at the crime scene with blood on her hands. But in a court of law, in front of a jury, if it went that way, the fact she's blind and, like they said, you managed to overpower an ex-con and cut that into him surgically with precision doesn't add up. All she'd have to do is say, claim not guilty. She'd probably walk.
Hey, maybe it was just his time to go. I mean, other than the stab wound, did you check his cholesterol level or anything?
How did you know there was just one stab wound?
Did I say that?
I mean, it's ridiculous. You're a blind woman, for God's sake. So why don't you just tell us who did kill Paco Ordonez, and Agent Scully and I can go arrest him. And you can go home and work on your angry young blind girl comedy routine.
Yeah, which you clearly are.
All I see is a woman who's adapted to her impairment admirably.
Yes.
She's honed all her other senses around her blindness.
She wants us to know she did it.
I don't think she did do it.
Neither do I.
Then why won't she help us? She knew there was only one stab wound. You caught that yourself.
Yeah.
Detective, did you snake all of the plumbing in the bathroom?
I turned that place upside down and inside out.
Did you stab Paco Ordonez, also known as Little Monster?
Nope.
Would you ever have occasion to see Paco Ordonez or know him in any other way? Strike that.
Did you see the murder?
Yes, she did.
I don't see anything.
Yes or no only, please.
Wrong
Then
answer.
the answer is no.
No, you did.
Scully.
She's lying.
About what?
She knew Paco Ordonez, but I don't think she murdered him.
Would you like me to remind you why polygraphs are inadmissible in court?
No, she cracked Scully. She was lying, I'm sure of it.
Well, maybe she was, Mulder, but don't make me state the obvious. She didn't see anything.
Thought you had this place done upside down and inside out, detective. I hate it when they say that because you know they've always fucking missed something. Took her all of a minute to find that. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, she's seen another one. You've seen murders as they're happening. You see them just before they happen. She has become very attuned to the rest of her senses. Mulder's right with that.
Marty Stone. Yeah,
And he's like,
matching that description.
old enough to be her dad.
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
Yeah.
Who is this?
She a
just leave
prostitute
her
or not?
alone. I'm watching you. Let me guess. Your killer is O.J. Simpson.
They were found at the crime scene with blood all over them. We believe they were worn by Paco Ordonez's killer.
Are you happy, detective?
Looks to me like it fits.
Somewhere Marcia Clark weeps.
She lives in poverty, but she's never taken advantage of the disability benefits that are available to her. Never once. It's poison to her. The mere suggestion that she's anything other than a whole or complete person.
She has a very unusual look and take on life, with the life that she's been given, being born blind and having this ability that she does appear to have that she doesn't want you to know about, which they're going to figure out and have already started to, especially Mulder. But at the same time, she's kind of acting like lashing out like a moody teenager, like she doesn't want any of you to be involved with any of it, yet she wants, at the same time, she's being humane enough to try to save people's lives, like that girl at the bar just then. I don't get her. She's weird. And I kind of don't like her because of her arrogance, but at the same time, no one should go away for a crime they haven't committed.
See, a lot of people respected him, you know? Buy in or not? You're not buying, I can go to somebody else. No, you can't. But I'm feeling magnanimous. Swing by in a couple of hours and maybe we can do some business. Good.
Oh, is this the same killer?
Something I gotta look into first.
Are you aware of any sensation at all?
It's a miracle.
Don't take the piss. She's an
All right,
ass.
Marty. Now we're going to introduce some optical stimuli. Try not to blink.
This will tell.
I don't think there's any activity in either the visual cortex or the superior colliculus.
There's no way that she could fold a machine?
We're talking about wholly involuntary physical responses.
Correct. She's having another one. That's why. How weird is this?
Well, I'm not going to try to indict a blind girl on some lousy prints.
She doesn't exactly fit the definition blind girl. To me, it indicates some reaction to stimuli, some kind of physical response to images in her mind's eye.
How does that make her the killer?
Doesn't.
I didn't say it did.
These better still be 20s.
No, I replace them with 50s since you're so damn sweet.
Detective Pennick ran the gloves for blood typing and found 2 different samples. One type matching Marty Glenn's.
But she was examined. There were no cuts or wounds on her.
Yeah, well, all the same, I'm going to hand deliver them to the lab in Washington, expedited PCR to see if she's a match.
On her side, with her being completely innocent. The way she's behaving.
Who called me last night?
No, I'm not a cop! I need to get to Spring Street.
Finale here.
I have a feeling you're going to find a body here.
Okay, I'm fine, thanks. Leave me alone.
Right on her. She's still there. There she is. What reason would she have to murder a prostitute?
Susan Forrester, she was 30 years old, native of Wilmington. She waitressed part-time. She lived alone with her 2 cats.
Shut up. I've given you people everything you want.
I like you, Marty. I admire you. And I don't want to see you confess to crimes you didn't commit. I believe you witnessed both murders. You saw them somehow, but you were way across town when they happened. You were a $60 cab ride away.
I don't think they're completely random. I think for some weird reason, somehow she's connected to this guy. And she's seeing through his eyes what he's doing, which is why she's seeing all of his victims. Maybe, I don't know, we don't know much about her background. Maybe she was adopted, or she didn't know, never known who her father was. Maybe it's her father, or maybe it's something to do with bloodline or something. Because she's not just seeing any other random people being murdered or hurt or in danger in the city. It's just whoever this guy comes in contact with, this one guy.
You can't back out.
Say, look here, brother. I do what I got to do to stay on the down low, and you shining too much light on me.
What are you talking about?
Somebody's gunning for you, man. And I ain't getting in the middle of it.
He's right.
She's nobody, huh? She knows nothing.
Yeah, right.
You and me, man, we're still cool. Trust me.
Well, if she don't know anything, how'd she get this number?
Well, I appreciate your help here, such as it was, but I'd say we're doing all right. She just signed her confession.
We ain't done.
Doesn't it bother you, Detective, that you still have no clear motive?
Well, she just now gave us that. I'd say this is going to make it a pretty short trial.
If you think about it, Detective, it actually proves nothing.
Mulder.
What?
I've got the PCR results on the 2 blood types from the gloves. Neither was Marty's.
You're protecting the man who murdered your mother.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh!
I read the original police report from 1970.
I couldn't have known that.
Your mother died from a single stab wound to the right kidney. But for once, you were there when it happened. She was pregnant with you at the time. But the interruption in blood flow you suffered most likely caused your blindness.
Yeah.
As you lost one sense, you gained another. A connection was formed between you and your mother's killer.
Yeah.
What connection?
You see through his eyes.
Yes, you do. I've got that bit right. Oh, fuck, he's looking right at you. They're looking at you, and you see his eyes. Because, yes, she's seeing you, but unfortunately, he's now seeing you as well.
Detective Pennock is with the warden right now, arranging for your release.
Oh, what?
Charges against you are being dropped. You're no longer a suspect in this case.
Nope.
I was careful.
Yeah, well, somebody else wasn't so careful.
No.
Charles Wesley Gotts, an ex-con.
That's him?
Convicted in 1970 of aggravated assault. PCR test confirmed that it was his blood on the glove.
Should have been out 3 weeks.
The test confirmed something else, Marty.
That's why the visions have started now.
He's your father.
Am I a fucking genius or am I a genius? It was just a lucky guess. But it made sense for the story and for the writing as regards... all of what's been said was perfectly plausible. That you've just had formed some sort of connection with your killer, but it made more sense on a biological level that the reason you are connected is because he's your daddy.
Not pursue aiding and abetting charges if you agree to help us.
We need to catch him.
If you agree to help us find him.
If I help you, will you protect me until he's caught?
Yes.
I will personally guarantee your safety.
There you go.
I don't think she was sure exactly what she was seeing. It was more like a constant image in her mind that she learned to live with over time.
Maybe he's been in prison her whole life. Maybe she's not had those visions or anything seen through his eyes while he's been in prison, because he's subdued and controlled to such a point that none of that was relevant. But as soon as he's got out, the heightened state of emotions, regardless, when someone is doing what he's been doing and killing somebody, you don't do that without having any sort of emotional response, is what has made these visions become powerful.
He's reading the names on the mailboxes right now.
What?
Oh, dude, pay attention.
Pennock's not picking up.
What do you mean?
It's gone pear-shaped.
It's not him she's been protecting. If he goes back to prison, so does she. Until now, she's never had a choice.
She's waiting for you to come through that door. I mean, he deserves to die. I want him to die.
I hate the way you see me.
Pop. Wow.
You were at the sentencing, Agent Mulder.
Is it my cologne?
Oh, I just knew you'd be there.
Marty, let me speak to the judge on your behalf.
No.
We found where he'd been staying. It's a motel not far from where Paco Ordonez had been murdered.
And before that, Atlantic City. I'd never seen the ocean before.
Oh.
And now when I close my eyes, or even when I open them, that's all I see.
It had a resolute, but kind of a sad ending. He's a brilliant writer, Chris Carr. I enjoyed that. Right, episode 16. Yeah, as I said, bit of an unusual one. And took me a while to figure out what was going on. Took everyone, in particular the detective, a long while to figure it out. They are used to dealing with normal bread and butter cases. You know, evidence, murderers, thieves, burglars, drug dealers, and it's all standard procedure. So when he got something like this, that guy just had no clue how to handle any of this. Even when she was trying to give him the heads up that the guy was in the building, he's like, what are you talking about? You're like, when you hardly surprising she bonked you over the head with the fucking kettle in the end. That's as a peaceful resolution as she was going to get. And at least, like I said, she focused on the only one positive that man did, and that was allow her to see the ocean. Something that a blind person's never going to see. They can't imagine what any of our world looks like, but she got to see it through his eyes, but unfortunately got to see all the bad stuff. I couldn't have possibly known about Mother until Mulder brought it up. And literally 5 minutes before, I gave my theory on how this connection was formed. And it was looking like I was partially right. That it was a killer that she'd formed a connection with when he killed her mum. And that's what ended up making her being blind. With the interruption of the blood flowers, and one would have died on the operating table when they were trying to get the baby out. And I thought that was as far as they're going to go. And then it came out that it really was her father. It was the best explanation as to how this biological, that it was a biological thing that had formed this connection. She was very, very unwilling to help, cooperate, or even entertain them to begin with. But she's got some sort of peaceful resolution there, and at least no one's gone to prison that shouldn't have done. But it was a thoroughly enjoyable episode. And I know the actress from somewhere. I don't know where. Put down in the comments if she's been in stuff since. I'm sure she probably will have been. But I can't think where she's seen her. Obviously, she's not a big actress or anything. So don't know if she's played in other shows or series or something. But a thoroughly enjoyable episode. And I did also happen to notice once again, in this episode, there was a very minimal amount of Scully on-screen time. I don't know, maybe for the last couple of episodes they were giving her a bit of a break, or she'd had a few days off from filming. I know that's how it works all of the time. So two episodes back to back where first one Scully wasn't in it, second one she wasn't in it very much, just 2 or 3 scenes really. Right, that will do. Completely enjoyed it. Right, see you for episode 17 next. If you want to watch it in full length, just check the links in the description, guys. You can head over to Patreon and watch it over there. And I would appreciate a quick thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it. Hit the sub if you haven't already. I will see you for episode 17. Take care.